Girl's Guide to Going Freelance. And I just wanted to apologize because some of the people last time said that it was a little bit too dark with the overhead light on, so I turned it off. And hopefully this time you can see me a little better. And let's get into it. This week's question came from Wayne C. in Wisconsin, and he asked, how do you enforce a contract? And this is a little bit of an issue because I'm not really equipped to give legal advice, but I'm pretty well equipped to give common sense advice, so let's stick with that. That said, if it does come down to it, you may need to lawyer up or take it to a small claims court or collection agency. Of course, most freelancers can't afford to do this, and it wouldn't even be worth it. You don't want to pay thousands of dollars for a lawyer to take things to court. If, it's only a $25 article, you might just have to eat it and call it, just a lesson learned to not deal with people who won't pay you. But in most cases, you won't even have to do that. Probably the best way to enforce a contract is to actually have one to begin with. Every freelancer, whether you're writing or editing or something else, needs to have a contract before they start on the project. And don't accept a handshake as a contract. Don't accept an instant message as a contract. Talking on the phone is not a contract. You need to get it in writing with a signature. And in order to avoid any confusion or just problems, make sure that your contract is very clear about what you will and won't be doing. This is to avoid something that copywriter Carol Tice dubs scope creep, and that's basically when the terms of your contract start changing on you. Like, for instance, you get hired to write an article and you agree to write 500 words, include a picture, and all of a sudden the client wants you to format the text a certain way. They want you to do a bunch of Photoshop stuff or who knows what, and that's sort of what you were hired to do, but it wasn't. So you want to make sure that your contract is very clear. And basically what Wayne is asking, I think, is what you do when a client won't pay you. And one of the ways that I avoid this is I don't even start working until I have a down payment. And I always make that down payment at least 50%. And usually if the client is willing to pay 50% up front, they're good for the other 50% later. Though a lot of the time with new clients, if I can get away with it, I have them pay me 100% up front, but don't spend the money until you've actually done the work. That can get you into some trouble if an emergency comes up and you're unable to complete the work, which hopefully won't happen, but you always want to make sure that you have the money on hand to give back to them in case they require a refund or something horrible happens and your laptop catches on fire. You gotta watch out for emergency situations, so make sure you don't spend the money before you've actually done the work. And if they're willing to give you the money up front, that's great. If not, get at least 50% always. And usually the people who are willing to pay 50% are willing to pay the other 50% once the job is actually completed. But even if they're not, at least you've got that little bit to get you by, and you're not working for nothing, which is the main goal. But another way is just invoice them again, and in addition to invoicing them, make sure that you stay clear in your contract when you expect to be paid by. I always write down in mind that I want to be paid at least 10 days after the finished project has been turned in. and they know that up front because they've signed the contract. And just keep reminding them in the email, like, oh wait, I hope you enjoy the final product, and I will be waiting for your final payment within the next 10 days. And, if they don't pay you right away, just keep reminding them. Never assume that they know what's going on. Not because they're stupid, but because, they're business professionals just like you, and they're probably just as busy as you are. Or they might be new to hiring freelancers, and they just, they're not aware of how things work. So just keep reminding them, be gentle, be friendly. And if they continue to not pay you, then gradually increase the firmness of your letters. At first you can be, hey, I haven't gotten paid yet, and then eventually you're going to have to be a little bit stronger with your wording, but be gradual about it. Just, be nice, be polite. Though, as the saying goes, squeaky wheel gets the grease. So, if you keep bothering them, they may pay you just to shut you up. So, and one thing to keep in mind is the larger the company, the longer it might take them to pay you, because with larger companies, they have to go through several department heads usually to get a payment to an independent contractor. So give them a little wiggle room, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Most of the time, I haven't had too many problems with people not paying me, because I try not to work for people who are shady. So just try to research the client ahead of time, make sure that they sign your contract. If they refuse to sign your contract, or refuse to work for them, that's it. Don't work without a contract ever. And I have gotten suckered a couple of times, but that was in the past, thank goodness. And I hope that never happens again. But it does happen to you. Don't feel ashamed or anything like that. It happens to everyone. I haven't met a freelancer yet who hasn't gotten suckered at some point. And Chris Emery, the other co-creator of the Girl Guide to Going Freelance, actually pretty much wrote her book, Freelance Your Heart Out, about getting scammed and what happened to her when she was first starting out. And it's heartbreaking, but if it happens to you, it's going to be okay. And just research your clients better in the future, and hopefully you won't have to use any of the advice I just gave you. But if you do, then best of luck to you. And if you would like to learn more about going freelance and living the life of a freelance writer or editor, then please check out the Girl's Guide to Going Freelance at thegirlsguidetogoingfreelance.com. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.